live feed today. It's the day after the big auction sale. One of 3 big auction sales that are going to be happening as a result from me purchasing contents of that house. And I thought I'd do sort of a recap. Before we get into the recap and all that, Melissa will be joining me. In fact, I'm going to get her chair ready. This chair right here. Look, so she'll be coming to join us soon. There will be a Melissa joining us. She's just getting ready. But I wanted to, first off, thank everybody who watches our channel, who felt like they wanted to see a guy dig through a house and go and pull a bunch of cool treasures out. I know a lot of you, many of you who are watching at home might have bid and won something, or even just put bids on things and maybe you didn't win it. But either way, I wanted to thank you all for participating in the auction. It was definitely a huge success, and I want to say that Melissa and I are very grateful. We're very humbled by how successful things went, and you know, we had no anticipations whatsoever going in. Throughout the series of the house, you saw me finding silver coins and silver bars and the occasional ring, but I found a lot more clearly. I was finding bags of rings and bags of bracelets and so forth, and we kind of kept that as a surprise. So the series didn't quite end with that. We kept a surprise and ran through a big jewelry auction that happened yesterday. I'm proud to say that with the bids that came in from yesterday's sale, before the auction house takes its deductions, the auction sale did approximately $285,000. It's just unreal thinking that it did that much. You know, the great thing, so they're going to take 25%. So that means that we'll be getting probably about $215,000. It doesn't feel real, folks. Like, this is what people who win the lottery probably feel like this. It doesn't feel real. But
Hi,
hey,
everyone.
look, it's my wife, the shiniest jewel of them all, my lady, the sparkliest gem. So the nice thing about this is that we had plans to put up a building, and I had diverted any money we'd saved last year towards paying off our existing building. And so we didn't really have a way that we were going to pay for it, and now we have a way. And it's with everybody that bid, both locally and all around the world, everybody came together to make that happen, and so we were able to make that happen. And yeah, everything is moving ahead. I'm talking to contractors. I'm going to be very wise and stay the course with our course of action here, and make sure that we follow these dreams and follow these passions and get everything done. So everything is going well so far, and just wanted to say thank you to everyone. So for us, the take home will be about $215,000, or about 170,000 US dollars, which is just nuts.
Yeah, that's a lot. But not just the people that helped to bid and help us on the auction, but every single one of you that watches our channel, that watches the ads,
or shares the videos, even
shares the videos, comments, all of that. You guys are all part of that building going up, and we really appreciate.
Oh, thank you, MP. And I did see I think we missed a super chat earlier too, from, there it is right there. Teresa says, what time did the auction end last night? It ended at just after midnight, if you can believe that. And thank you again, MP. We're pleased that obviously very pleased that everything worked out the way that we'd hoped.
And the auction, those guys are troopers. Like, they were going to end it, and then, but they stayed on the entire day, like 12 something in the morning, right?
12:15 a.m. So they are employed by the auction house because the auction did well for them as well. Yeah. The auction house themselves, with the 25% they took plus the buyer's fees, they made almost $100,000 just off of that sale as well. So they gave the auctioneers a bonus for working so late and so hard, so they were taken care of. Yeah. And yeah, it's very grateful for all these finds and all these things that happened.
And they were in like good spirits to the end. I'm not so sure if I had a full shift.
Yeah.
For the entire day going into the next day, that I would have been.
Thank you, Tanisha. Your cousin Tanisha is on.
Tanisha.
Yeah, it was absolutely nuts. So from a $10,000 investment, buying it sight unseen, and this is really like buying a storage unit where you have kind of a glimpse from the door, more or less, of what you're gonna get. I just trusted my gut and went for it. Lenore Elliott, thank you so much. You know, I looked in the house and I saw it was full of old clothes and you couldn't see much past it, but I saw a grand piano and I thought, well, even if I just get the grand piano out of it, we'll probably have an interesting YouTube series. I thought, well, heck, this is gonna be a lot of work. Ashley, thank you so much.
And the jewelry that we did find in the beginning, it was just like costume jewelry and stuff. Like it
was generic stuff. Yeah.
I mean, it was jewelry that obviously she liked, but it was still like, meh, it was fun, but not something that we thought we'd be able to sell. So that's what we actually saw in the beginning.
Yeah, we had literally no idea. We climbed around inside the house, said, okay, you know, here's the two things that made me buy that house. The piano in the living room and the old desk, which my mom now has, the drop down desk. I'm like, well, those are a couple neat things, I guess. And so it was a complete and utter joyous windfall for us. And we're so grateful that this happened. It is truly going to make our little dream of building a cafe on our land come true this summer. So we will do a YouTube series on that. And for those of you that hadn't watched the series leading up to it, it was called The Old Garage. I'm going to change it. I've been meaning to change the series name to The Cafe. But you'll be able to see just how much it took, how much work it took to even get permission to build. Brickhouse Salvage, thank you so much. Lori Bailey, thank you very much. Yeah, we hit our goal.
I mean, we didn't just hit our goal, you guys. It was insane. Like,
surpassed it by quite a bit.
We completely thought, oh, what's a crazy number? And we thought that 200,000 was our crazy number.
No, 100 at first.
Oh yeah, 100,000.
We're like, when I first took the stuff in, I'm like, maybe there's like 50 grand worth of stuff here. I don't know.
That was like our giant number was 100,000. And then when it surpassed that, like, and then you're excited, but then you become almost like it's overwhelming, and because you're so thankful, and then you see your dreams are going to actually be able to happen.
Chris online asks, hello from Kentucky, USA. Are you going to highlight Madame Rack in any way? Yes, of course we will. We are going to build this cafe. Madame Rack's piano is going to be placed inside the cafe for people to play. And we'll probably, I don't know, maybe I'll commission Josh to do a little painting of her, or even our son Steven could do a painting too. But we'll find a way to honor her in a very nice way. Matthew Fox, thank you so much. You know, it just, I was watching the auction end, and for those of you that are just logging in now, $285,000 Canadian.
Yeah.
That's still a lot. Even in US, that's still a lot.
You can imagine if we thought that.
Thank you, Ryan MacArthur. He said he's excited to watch the cafe series. I love watching dreams of that being built.
I know somebody asked me yesterday, do you think that you'll vlog the cafe being built? And I thought, yeah.
We've already been vlogging the cafe build before this. This has been a plan that's been in motion for a year and a half. And there is a playlist called The Old Garage. I will rename it the Old Cafe or something like that. And you guys can watch that as well.
Hi, Mom. I saw you sneak on.
Somebody says the real Randy Quaid. So when are you buying another house, and how is your back, Melissa? I'll answer the first part and you can answer the second. I don't know. We never know when these places cross our paths.
It's not in the works right now. Like, there's not a surprise house happening.
No, but there is a garage full of stuff that somebody wants me to buy. I'm going to go look at it on the weekend.
Oh man, you guys, it doesn't stop.
No, it doesn't stop. This is what we do for a living.
I mean, it's good, but we're still sorting.
You have to answer your back question.
My back still hurts, but I mean, you guys, for anybody watching, don't sit on the floor for a really long time and then magically think that it's not going to hurt after. But it feels better. Thank you so much for asking.
Yes, thankfully you're feeling better. A little bit. She's more spry. She usually chases me around the house and...
Well, you forget. And I went to jump up off the couch, and then you can't straighten completely, so...
Our relationship, Melissa teases me and she chases me around and pests me and stuff in a loving way. Yeah. At least that's what she says. So there was two questions that came up that I have to answer. The first one was, and you still have 2 more auctions to go. Congratulations. I want to adopt a nice guy. Thanks, Jeffrey. I'm sure my kids would be, hey, we adopted an adult male to live in the house. That might be a little awkward. But we are very happy. Troy says, yeah, there's another auction. Can't wait to see the cafe become a reality.
Cindy Red Deer.
Guess for the second auction? I don't know. My guess for the second auction is maybe 50,000 before they take their fees. Hard to say. I have really no idea.
I know. It's crazy. Like, I mean, it's overwhelming, like the amount, because some of that stuff went for a lot higher, and we know that it's people trying to help us to make this dream come true. And I think that was the overwhelming part. All of the love that it went into it. It wasn't just a bunch of people wanting to buy stuff. It was people being part of making our dream happen. And I think that was the overwhelming part. How many people we have in our lives that help us.
They did.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, and I'll share this, that prior to us buying this house before Christmas, I had been putting all of our money towards paying off our debts. I mean, every single dime. And so, Tim Hovey says, won the 13th, the last item. So happy for you both. Thank you. When the house came available for sale, that was pretty much all the money we had, set us like extra money we had. Everything else was spoken for. So that was like, that emptied the old bank account. That 10 grand was like it. Everything else we were putting into paying down buildings and debts and whatever.
And we got rid of our line of credit.
And we got rid of our line of credit.
Yeah.
So things were actually really tight when we bought that, but I decided to go all in. I pushed all my chips across the table before Christmas.
Crossed our fingers and just
Yeah,
hoped.
and really just crossed our fingers and hoped that it would work out. And surely it did.
What's the sliding toggle? I won the necklace. What it means is, oh, I know which necklace you got. There was one that it's a circle and it almost looks like a T-bar on the side. You have to slide that through, but you can make it shorter or longer. When it's around your neck, there's a piece that hangs down, and I know exactly which one it is because I had to write that description. I didn't know what to call it.
Somebody asked what a sliding toggle was.
That's
Kristen Kane.
I'm lucky that I caught that question.
So this was definitely the best investment I've probably made, for sure. Thank you very much, Cindy. Appreciate that. I mentioned on the live feed, I said I don't feel deserving or it's a very humbling experience to have that there and just think, well, this is going to make something happen. It's going to make actual dreams and things come true. It's wonderful. What about letting folks use the guitar from the house for a fee? The guitar actually sold, Kat. Somebody came into the store and they wanted to buy it. They'd been watching the YouTube series. This was maybe about a week or two ago, and they bought that guitar, so it's at a new home now. The Gibson sold. This is what's interesting too, is that this is only the first jewelry sale. There's another one, but it's not as much. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff in the next sale that's going to be happening February 13th. We put all what we thought the really high price stuff through this one.
We did miss some because when I was sorting through, I did find a couple diamond
There's
pieces.
some diamond bracelets and rings and that. But there's a whole bunch more stuff going through on the 13th of February.
We've been still sitting every moment sorting and tagging.
Yeah, getting stuff over to the auction and out of the house. So it's all over there now. They just have to inventory it and take pictures and get it up. And then there will be another sale on the 13th. It was the most insane amount of jewelry in my whole life. Jasmine Beck says, so glad to see things went well. Can't wait to see the new building. Thank you, Jasmine. I can't wait to see the new building too. Now, I was kind of messing around with the idea of what the outside of the building should look like. The original plan for the building was for it to have a garage door and kind of look like it was an old-fashioned shop that had been retrofitted into a coffee shop. That was the idea. Or ice cream shop and coffee. That was it.
Aubrey as well.
Aubrey, sorry. Aubrey says, hi from New Jersey. You're going to sell iced mochas at the coffee house. I love a good mocha. Well, we will if you show up. It's Canada.
Well, now I want iced mocha. So.
Well, I'll just give you a coffee and tell you to stand outside for a while. It's been minus 28 degrees here.
But not normal. Today and yesterday were the first.
Why did it change from a garage to a cafe? I missed the shift. The idea was always for us to be able to have maybe ice cream or some sort of cafe service. But the more and more I thought about what that building could be used for and what the neighborhood really wanted was a cafe. And a building tells you what it wants to be. I didn't sell general store type merchandise at my old location, but when we moved, we started carrying it because my store kind of like the people in the area told me, and the building just was happy to be a general store. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
That's the other thing for everybody that's a part of this journey. It's not just helping us, it's helping a whole community because we want to put up a cafe because it's going to bring people together. And the more we bring people together and
the happier they'll be.
Yeah, the happier they'll be. And the happier it makes us as well because when you do something good for a community, and you guys are all a part of that. This one here.
Oh, Dwayne Leith says, how's the Rolls Royce? So for those of you that are kind of new to the channel, we've been working on a Rolls Royce project car for quite some time. It is at the tail end of getting out of the shop. So we're getting everything that car needs to pass a safety inspection, which means it basically has to be like a really good car. No leaks, no issues whatsoever, perfect brakes, perfect steering. And that's fine because you don't want to have a 10,000-pound car go out of control on you. So I'm glad it's going to be safe for the family. But yes, they are working on that right now. Hopefully we'll have an update coming soon. I actually went there to film an update the other day, and they're like, the shop is kind of messy. Maybe don't take a video today. I'm like, your shop is always messy. Like, what's the difference? They have a lot of cars and a lot of stuff going on there.
I remember seeing that car when I was a kid. So cool that it ended up in Canada.
Oh, you saw the car in New Mexico when you were a kid? Dwayne,
Yeah,
you saw that?
New Mexico.
That car was from New Mexico. Yeah, the lady that had it. It was used at the New Mexico University. I can't remember the name of it, as the homecoming car. Like they had in the parade and everything. I've got pictures of it in New Mexico being used in a parade, and it was in Pebble. It was a Pebble Beach, or I can't remember. Del Monte Forest, California. That's where it's from. Anyway, Scrappin' Girl, thank you so much. The auctioneers seem to like the experience, says Benedict. I sure hope so. They probably liked the first part of it, but that was a history-making event for the auction house. I don't think they've ever done anything that crazy before. So they are, boy, they are shocked. It was absolutely nuts.
I felt so bad that they were sitting there still going, and you could hear that their voices, but they were still joking around, and I'm so thankful for everybody that's been a part of this.
Yeah, it's funny, this car that we're working on, and we're talking about, I see some comments from New Mexico. Sadly, her name was Alexandra Hall that owned it. And she was a lovely lady. She traveled all around the world. She had a Volkswagen van as well, and that was her mom's car. But sadly, their daughter passed, and then her husband passed, and then she passed, and there was no surviving family. And so that car was neglected. And I hate to see things just go to waste, especially something so beautiful. I know it's just a car, but it's a car that they loved. They had named it the Empress, and it was part of somebody's family its entire life, and it was destroyed when it came up to Canada. The fellow never completed the restoration because he passed. Maybe it's cursed. Hopefully not.
Wow.
I don't know. Everybody that's
path.
Eventually, everybody that owns the car will pass. But anyway, so the car was languishing. It was going to be scrapped, and so we decided to put the money into actually saving it. So if you haven't watched the Rolls-Royce renovation series, you can get caught up, and then we'll have an update video coming pretty soon.
Will the cafe have a house band?
I don't know. You know what? I bet that Jamie, the fellow that used to own our building, would probably come play. He's a fantastic musician. And Sean, who works at our store, you occasionally see Sean in our videos. Not very often, but Sean is a musician as well. We're surrounded by musicians. I try and play and sing. My uncle's a musician. We know a lot of musicians.
I think we would want to have as many people be able to have the opportunity to play, and again, bring a lot of people together, not just one group.
And thank you, Rachel Hart. She says, keep it up. Thank you. Yeah, it is. Alex, can you please answer this question? Was everything in the auction from Madame Rack's house? Yeah, it was absolutely crazy how much stuff we found in that house.
Yeah, that
absolutely
auction.
Nuts. Yeah. So if you got something from the sale, you got something that was part of Madame Rack's collection. Yeah. So it was absolutely just flabbergasted.
We didn't have a lot of people asked for a video of now we can release a video of us finding all that stuff. We didn't tape that. We just were quickly trying to deal with all of it and make sure it was taken care of properly.
I see Mama Otter wrote us, and she said, I watched the live feed auction, but my cat stepped on the keyboard and ended up bidding and won a ring by mistake. Casters was so nice and canceled the sale.
Aw, that's so nice.
It's nice of your cat to try and shop for you. They don't understand the concept of currency. They just thought you wanted a ring. So, well, I'm glad that got sorted out. And I guess next time we're having another auction, keep your cat very near to the keyboard. It's funny. Steven and I were at a place the other day, and they had a 2-story tall cat house, one of those carpeted structures. They had a vaulted ceiling in their living room, and it went up 2 stories. It was the most crazy cat house thing I ever saw.
So were you finding the jewelry everywhere, or was it in one room?
All over the place.
Great sale. I mean, a lot of it was in that room with the bed, where
it was everywhere, though.
Yeah, it was.
So, and the downstairs room where the organ was. There was the pump organ room.
And the basement.
And the basement. There was stuff all over the house, hidden everywhere.
It wasn't finding, it wasn't separate in a shoe or something. You'd find a bag, and then you'd look in, and there's all this crazy jewelry.
Lots of empty boxes, and then hidden underneath something that looked like nothing would be a bag full of jewelry. Or in a coffee can or whatever. But did Madame Rack's new house owner open the safe deposit box yet? I don't know if they did or not yet. But I'm sure that they have a real good surprise waiting in there.
I hope so.
I hope that I would have loved to have been there when they opened it.
Everyone everyone said they're curious what's in there. We are too.
Yeah. Thank you, Jesse. Very kind words. We appreciate it. It's I'm not used. It almost feels like I don't even know how to describe it, guys. My whole life, I've just worked for whatever I've gotten, and I don't like taking charity from people. And here we have people sending super chats and that, but you know, I just have always wanted to work hard for what we have. I don't buy lottery tickets. I try never to ask for help, or even, you know, I feel bad taking a loan from banks, and I hate owing people money, which is why I've worked so hard the past couple of years to pay off our debts that we had. And so for us to have this crazy auction sale and come through with this windfall that's now going to put up this cafe, we
were like literally speechless. Like there became a point where we couldn't even watch anymore because it was just
we turned
crazy.
My heart was beating, you know, a mile a minute.
It didn't seem real. It just was like.
Yeah, I don't think my bank is super happy that we paid off our loans early, because we've only been in that building about a year and a half, and we paid it off this year. We paid off that building.
Vicky, you shouldn't eat that, for the record.
Yeah. So to recap, there were a few surprises. The Teshco, I think it's called, or Texco. Yeah, but no, they say it's called Teshco. Like they say the X with a sh kind of sound. The chameleon bracelet went for just about $2,000. Went for I think $1,900.
Whoever knew that that's what the brand was, good job. I didn't even see that down the bottom. So.
Yeah. You know, there was just surprises all over the place. I think the biggest surprise was in Liz Lott. I see your question there. Liz asked, "What's the biggest surprise?" You know, the surprise was that the fines kept coming every single day. And I would show snippets of it, like a little coin here or a silver bar there.
That silver bar was pretty insane.
The silver bar was insane, and that did happen. The silver bar happened as I filmed it. I was literally taking the mattress off because I was trying to make room for you so we could walk around in that room.
Yeah.
And by the time Melissa came, I was like, ah! Look what I found. Total auction results from today was $285,000. That was, I say today because it ended up midnight. 12:15 a.m. That auction did $285,000, and I already had made my $10,000 back off of the clothing. Plus the other clothing we had was another 25, which helped cover the dumpster fees. So we were pretty much clear. All of this was just profit at this point. We didn't have to cover any other expenses, so it was perfect. It worked out great. Kev Smith says, "What was the final outcome for the New York comic sale? Did you finally get payments?" Thanks for reminding me. They actually still owe me a payment, but we did. That was a $10,000 investment. 10,000 seems to be the number, I guess.
Yeah, but what ended up happening with that?
Well, they paid us some of it. We ended up doing, I think, about $70,000 in sales from the comic book sale.
Thank goodness we got our money back.
I don't know if we're lucky or what it is. My dad always said I had a horseshoe stuck up my butt. Because I would always, even as a kid, and I saw somebody ask the question, when you were 9, what did you buy? And I'll answer that. I have super chats are not charity; they're payment for you entertaining us. Well, thank you, Lilith. We appreciate that. When I was a kid, I was buying and selling old Hot Wheel cars. Like I'd go look for Redline Hot Wheels or Dinky Toys, Matchbox, you know, stuff that a 9-year-old kid would think is neat, but I knew it was collectible. And I would go home and I'd get an old toothbrush and some car polish and I'd clean them all up and make them look good. And I'd resell them. And that's how I made money to, you know, buy bicycles or to whatever I needed money for back in that time. And I know I shared this story before that I went to a garage sale when I was a kid and I bought a whole box full of coin sets from the 1900s, 20s, and 30s for face value. So if it was $1.35, the person only charged $1.35. So I spent $20 and made $1,500 back when I was like 9 or 10 years old. So I guess I've always just had this kind of gut instinct, you know, and there's a lot of things that I'm learning. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know, and I'm willing to admit that. I did a little live feed video today going through box, and I didn't know that I had a Chinese padlock. Had not seen one before. Of course, now I figured out how it works. But I'm always open to learning, and now I'll know what they are. This whole... if you think of all the things that have been ever made in the history of time, it's a little difficult to know everything, but you try and be a good generalist and know enough.
You know what you do? You accidentally mess up on YouTube, and a lot of people will let you know really quick.
Oh yeah, you make a mistake on YouTube, and people let you know.
But that's the thing. People like to know that people like to know things, and they like to share their knowledge. So when you get the opportunity to be like, I know that one. Somebody asked, will the ukuleles be? Sorry, not just anybody. Mark, Marge or Mark?
There
Will
will.
ukuleles be in this next auction?
I think the February
Keep saying
13th,
oxygen.
the sale that's happening February 13th, I'll try and put some of the things through that didn't make it in the last couple sales because honestly, guys, we ran out of room at the auction.
But the ukuleles, is that not in the auction right now? Or is it-
No, there's no ukulele in the auction right now. It's sitting at the store. I have a few things that I should I should try and get there. Let's see. My wife had to sit on her hands so she wouldn't buy more. Well, then in that case, Bruce, just get her to put a cat on her keyboard.
then they'd be buying.
She'll train her
stuff.
cat. She'll like wink at it, and it'll be like meow meow, and it'll bid on it. But yeah, what an amazing week. You know, for us personally, it changes things a fair bit because now we actually get to build this little coffee shop. And like Melissa was saying, the biggest thing is that now we'll have the ability to have a place for people to be comfortable and come and sit down and just enjoy taking in our neighborhood. Where our store is, we have a park right across the street, a playground, a school. It's a lovely little area. It's a type of place where people would, they walk their dogs nearby, and there's people walking with their strollers. There's a bike path out front. It's a very pedestrian-friendly, user-friendly street, and it's a great spot to have a little cafe, a little stopping ground for people who are riding their bikes. So we'll make sure to put a bike rack there. But boy, it was really great. Carol Proul says, did you get any jewelry back from all of her purses? No, I have not got anything back from Mark yet. I'm assuming he didn't find anything. I assume if he did, he would bring it back because that was the deal, but we'll see.
But the purses and stuff that we found, the jewelry wasn't in purses. They would be like folded up, like perfectly, nothing in there, no Kleenex, nothing.
I did find a shoe full of jewelry though.
Did you?
Yeah, I found a shoe on the upstairs that she tucked all the jewelry in the toe of it.
Oh my goodness, I wasn't checking shoes.
Yeah,
and
there
stuff.
was jewelry tucked in the shoe of it.
Thank you, Glenn.
You know, but inside of books, there was paper that was stacked up and ready to go to the trash, and I was fluttering $20 bills and things out of the paper that were stuffed inside there. It was absolutely mind-boggling that I was part of this adventure and that you guys got to come along on the adventure as well.
Hey, Heather. Come on.
The carved elephant tower is already up for bidding for the January 30th sale, Kat. So if you have interest in that, it is already live and available for bidding. Rachel Hart says, please get a good respirator. I'd rather hear your voice. I'd rather hear your voiceover than hear that you're sick. And tell your Viking friend and his gal hi. Great job on the memorial for the hoarder lady. Well, hopefully Betty Joan will be known as more than just being a hoarder lady. But yes, it was my pleasure to try and memorialize her and remember her as who she actually was. Yeah. I will say that I had a couple people who watch our channel send me respirator masks, which I do have now. So thank you for those folks that were kind enough. I had a package show up at the door, and I'm like, "What's this?" And it's a respirator mask. So it was incredibly kind.
So surprised.
Your kindness and your generosity goes a long way when you're thinking of my health, and I appreciate that. I sounded like an ad there, but I mean, I'm appreciative is what I'm saying. Killer B says, now that you have things squared, do you plan to invest any of that money? May I suggest Bitcoin? No, I am not touching Bitcoin. It's not real to me. I know that people make money on that stuff, but I don't gamble. I don't buy lottery tickets. I don't smoke.
Well, we gamble in the way that we buy things and hope that.
Yeah, but that's an educated. That's the
Yeah.
store making an educated guess at buying something. But no, there isn't any money left over to invest. That's the thing, is that all this money is going towards construction costs. Yeah. It's every single cent of that is going to the building. So sadly, there won't be anything left over.
I know, that's the thing. I mean, when you have a big payment comes in, there's generally a big bill, but
Yeah.
at least we're able to build the building now.
We'll own another building on our land outright. Yeah. We'll own a little cafe that possibly we could lease out to somebody or rent or just run a store from. It'll be ours, and that's something, you know. It's maybe you don't see the money come back until you go to sell your property, but in the meantime, it's something, and I'm happy for that. Sherry says, so happy to see the profitability of this auction for you. Watching you is encouraging me to let go of some of my extras. I just sold something today for quite a bit. Well, congratulations, Sherry.
Yeah, that's great news.
You know, these are just things. The thing about this business, at least for me in this business, is that I don't have aspirations to really own a lot of stuff myself. In fact, Melissa and I've said it before, we're more interested in getting rid of stuff.
Especially after you go through a bunch of other stuff, like all this auction. I've been slowly going through each little area of our house and getting rid of the stuff that could be enjoyed by somebody else that we don't use necessarily.
Off
so
it
much.
goes.
Yep.
We donate quite a bit to charity.
Yeah.
Nancy Stofler, thank you so much for the message.
Just making sure I didn't miss any.
I think we're caught up. So yeah, this is all happening. So for those of you that want to watch the build of the cafe, you got to go back and watch the playlist called currently titled The Old Garage, and you'll get caught up to exactly where we're at right now. We're going to be picking up on that series right away. Construction will start in springtime, so another couple months, and we'll be able to start because we have to wait until the ground really starts to thaw. And boy, it is just a great feeling to know that we have a contractor lined up and things are going to start happening. We just had a live
I didn't even
super
see.
chat.
I don't
Second
think it came
cafe
through
offering,
for me
one love kids. Thank you so much, Silent Decay. Very
You
nice.
get the messages like 10 seconds before
I know Melissa's on a delay with hers there. So, but guys, I don't know if there's any questions you have, or maybe there's things we can try and answer. What was the highest item in the auction? I don't know yet. I get the paperwork on Friday, so I don't have visibility to other than what we saw on the sale. But we also missed a good chunk of the sale because Steven and I actually went out and did 2 picks while that auction was happening. We went out to 2 different places. One, I showed some stuff that we posted on a live feed today, but the other stuff, the most amazing stuff, is yet to come. I have to do a proper video on that, which will be coming soon.
Yesterday for supper, we had Montana's, for those of you that know what it is, and the restaurant shoved a whole bunch of cookies in there as a thank you for us ordering from them. So
that was our splurge.
We did end up, we had dessert in that way. We were so full after, there was literally no room for dessert.
We're very, like, you know, I would say relatively normal people, and we with modest expectations. Like, we didn't.
Generally, the craziest people start off by saying we're really normal.
Oh, I mean, I'm planning on being downright eccentric.
But
you know?
Even like for the people that asked what kind of jewelry I kept, the kind of jewelry that I have is always stuff that has like a lot of meaning. This one actually is a Matthew Fox. Hey, Matthew, I got the. He made this for me and Abigail, and it's beads from Mary's house, the last house that we did. Our vacation, and then Abigail made me this little friendship bracelet, and me and her have a matching one. So
thank you, Lisa, and thank you, Kitten Kava. She says, "Congrats on the outcome. Been watching since the 3rd Potter's House video. At a time, I was in a very dark place, and finding such good people to be respectful help beyond words." Well, I'm glad. You know, the most important thing for me, and I'm sure for Melissa as well, is not the video and not the store, but it's how we raise our kids and how we conduct ourselves as people. And we certainly try. We're not perfect by any means, you know. We have our flaws and have made our mistakes, and you know, you just try and do your very best and learn from your mistakes, and that's all you can do without being too hard on yourself. It's just try and take better steps every single day, and that's what we're attempting. But for those of you that are, I see a lot of suggestions for the cafe name. We'll come up with the right thing at the right time. Yeah. I have to think about what the inside of it's going to look like first, and that's the biggest thing right now. And until I get that, I'm closing my eyes and I'm visualizing what the interior of the place is going to look like, and I have to formulate that in my head. I had a completely different thought of what it would look like, but you know, now that we're basically still kind of pigeonholed into doing that original design, I have to think creatively with a big old garage door. The reason why I wanted a garage door on that building, and those of you have no idea what I'm talking about, the building that this auction is going to put up, it looks kind of like an old-fashioned shop, like maybe an old gas station or service shop. Because on that site, in fact, the little garage we have in the backyard of the store was at one point an automotive repair shop. So we thought it was a nice nod to what the heritage was for that site. We'd make it look like an old garage.
But we could still do that, make it a cafe and have like a spin on the.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be a cafe. But the reason why I wanted it to look like a garage was because of that. And then in summertime, you'd open up the garage door all the way, all, you know, 12 or 14 feet of it or whatever. It's going to be huge. It's a big glass door. It's not like a regular garage door. Don't envision that. It's all glass. You've probably seen them at restaurants. They use them. It's a big solid glass garage door that opens up. It lets a lot of light in because it's glass, but in summertime you could open it up and have just nice breezy atmosphere. People coming and going, music playing in summer. I really just think it could be a nice environment. And so we're going to think of a way to make it very pleasant and nice for the people in that area.
Somebody said we missed a super chat from Matthew Davey or Dewey. It doesn't show me on mine. It didn't show, unfortunately.
It didn't pop up. We didn't see that one. And I apologize if we missed your super chat, but thank you. We really appreciate it when you guys think of us.
The name of the neighborhood where the store and cafe is located within Edmonton.
Westmount. Westmount is the neighborhood that we're in, not to be confused with Westmount Shopping Mall. We are in the Westmount neighborhood. And Westmount is a historical district in Edmonton. In fact, many of the homes in that area are protected because they are, it's a lot of four square houses, you know, like 1912 to 1920 sort of structures. Our city really built up around that time, and used to be a radial railway. So basically a streetcar used to run down the street near us. And there's a lot of history. The street that we're on, in fact, was part of a highway system at one point. And there used to be all sorts of old structures and buildings and pool halls and so forth. And ours is the last remaining original structure from that time. Everything else is gone from that street, which is why I think they made the houses in the area protected so that we don't lose that history. Aubrey says, I hope you don't mind if I ask a general Canadian question. What is a Donaire or Donaire meat?
But Donaire's aren't Canadian.
Well, no, Donaire kind of are Canadian. It was, a Donaire is like a shawarma or, a gyro. If you've ever had a gyro before, it's pita with mainly lamb meat. It's kind of a combination.
It's like a lamb and beef, I think.
Right? It went, moo, buck, 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 buck. I don't know.
We're not sure, but
it's a combination of spiced meats.
And then they shove it on a stick.
Yeah, really, really good. So the Donaires were prominent around Halifax, actually, and then they spread out, but it would be from the Middle East. I think like Lebanon or those kind of regions. Donaires or gyros. Gyros are more Greek, but it's a similar type of thing.
Where did we get Donaires from the last time that we had Donaires?
Oh, I don't know. It was good though. But
in Edmonton, if you have tried just Donaires, I got the falafel plate because you guys know, it was so good, you guys. It's so good.
Yeah, so basically it's like a skewer of spiced meat that spins and it's heated, and they kind of shave off bits of it and they grill it, put it in a thing with some sweet sauce. It's really good.
Yeah.
If you've never had one,
lettuce, tomatoes,
maybe. Okay. Oh, I had a couple super chats there.
I was waiting for it I saw it on yours.
Apparently, this is turning into Donaire chat. Carol Pruill says, "I'm the one who bought the picture frame for Hans and Zenobia. Thanks for mentioning my gift. Hans and Zenobia sent me a beautiful thank you card." Oh, well, that was lovely. Yes, we had a nice picture frame show up, and
I saw it on their live feed. They showed it.
We have had. Because our store is fairly accessible, people just look up the store address and we always get stuff for Hans and Zenobia, and I'm sure they're very appreciative of it. The nice thing is that with us putting up the building, we'll be able to hire Hans back to help us out, and hopefully Josh to help us with the interior. We'll try thinking of some artsy stuff. The beautiful thing about this is that the sale of all this stuff. Oh, Josh is on actually right now. I was just talking about him, and I knew it was Josh because it started with dude.
Oh, you know what? I knew Josh was on because somebody earlier was talking about banana bread, and I thought, I bet Josh is in the feed.
He said, dude, you gotta try Donaire Lab in Spruce next time you're out my way.
Yeah, I forgot. You mentioned it before. I completely forgot.
But what makes it a laboratory? Is it like Beaker and Professor Bunsen Honeydew making your Donaire? He's like accidentally cutting the wrong thing. Better that than the Swedish chef again. Here, chuppy, and then chase them all around the restaurant. Anyway, it's nice to have Josh on with us. Patricia says, do you know what happened to the Johnson Brothers Friendly Village dinner? Where will it be in the January 30th auction? Probably. All of the dinnerware, all of the china and plates and things like that are going through the January 30th sale. We put it out by the box. If it matched, it was like a set of dishes, set of cups, whatever. So you'll see that stuff pull up then. Crystal says, how many people do you expect the cafe to hold? How much of the auction proceeds do you expect to have to pay in taxes? I don't know exactly how much. It's going to be probably another 25% or so in taxes because the business taxes are a little bit different. But yes, we are definitely going to have to pay taxes on that stuff. But, that's just par for the course. But in the meantime, we'll spend the money and figure out the taxes later on building this building. Kathy says, congrats, so happy you earned enough to make your dream come true. Did you ever find the silverware from down in the basement of Madame Rack's house? Yes. I didn't know where it went, and apparently Zenobia moved it upstairs. So I did end up finding it, and it's actually available for bidding at kauctions.ca for the January 30th sale. It's live right now. You can find this box of silverware right now. So there you go.
The buyer pays the shipping because otherwise...
Yeah, the buyer pays the shipping on that stuff. Yeah, this is part of the reason why we use an auction house for these bigger sales. Could you imagine trying to ship off 1,000 things all around the world?
And they get a better deal than we do anyways on shipping. It's
literally just Melissa and I who does... Well, mainly it's me that does the shipping from the store. So all of our online sales...
I very rarely ship. Like if Alexander is tired or doing something else, I'll ship stuff out. But Nope, normally it's you.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff you saw in the auction is there. There's probably a few things that were key pieces, like there was the telegraph thing that we ended up taking that to the
Are
store.
the teacups in there?
Yeah, there's teacups there. Oh, there's all kinds of stuff. Matt Williams said the site is said to be insecure. Yeah, when you log into Caster Auctions, it says it's insecure, but if you say really nice things about it, it eventually becomes more secure.
Wow. I knew you were going to go there.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just because they're on a www, not an HTTPS or whatever it is.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, boy, what a weekend, guys. We'll probably take a couple more questions and then we'll call it a night. We're still working. We're still working all night tonight here to get everything ready.
Let's see. How did you meet Josh?
How did I meet Josh?
Tell them about when you guys were.
Well, if I was Josh, I'd tell it like this.
No, but when you guys, he told them about when you guys did the skydiving.
Oh yeah.
With Ashley. But what do you remember? How do you remember meeting Josh?
Well, Josh was, I don't know, 14 at the time and going through some rough times. And he had, for whatever reason, welded together 2 4x4 trucks and put really big wheels on the front and small ones on the back. And he shouldn't have been driving, but he was. And he had flipped over in a ditch. And I saw this kid in this really weird vehicle. And I said, "Are you all right?" And he's like, "Dude, what? Oh, I'm fine." And he rubbed his head. And I said, "I don't think you should be driving this thing." And he said, "Well, don't tell anybody because I don't have my license yet." And anyway, he went running off. And I thought, well, that's really weird. So I had to call the police. And they came and they said, "Do you have a description of this person?" And I said, "Yeah, he's wearing a Bart Simpson shirt and a backwards hat. And, he ran away out of here." And I didn't know what his name was at that point and who he was. And but he dropped his wallet. So the police came and they towed his vehicle away, and his wallet was on the ground, and all he had was a student ID, but it had his actual name in it. And so I tracked it down. I actually talked to his mom first because I looked him up back in those days.
His real name is Frederick.
Back, 20 years ago or 30 years ago when Josh was 14, we were able to just look in the white pages and find his phone number. So talked to his mom, and boy, did he get in trouble for that. But, that's back in the 90s. That was like 1992. He was a young guy, probably in, grade 7 around that time. And, since then, we've more or less been friends. So, yeah, that's pretty much how we met.
Wow, 92 in grade 7. Bonnie Lucas said, "Alex and Melissa, you have blessed so many with work and supporting the business. Hanson Zenobi, the auction house, Josh and Jacoda and your family and your subs. Great job." Thank you, Bonnie.
Yeah.
There's all these people laughing. I feel like they don't believe you.
What, you don't believe
Aaron,
me?
You guys are so positive, very refreshing. Just a cafe name.
Back in the day cafe. That might mean that we're selling expired food. Oh wait, I had super chat come through. Patricia says, "Josh, you were bad a $$." I don't know if the truth of it is that Josh and I met at my store. That's how we met. He was looking for a vise that had an anvil kind of built on the end of it, and he's like, "Dude, this store is awesome." And then he came back with his brother Jacoda. He's like, "I'm an artist." He's like, "My brother's an artist too." And I'm like, "Okay." And I didn't know these guys, but we started talking, and then he's like, "I could build stuff for you." I'm like, "Well, that's cool." And so we kind of just ended up chatting and becoming friends since then. And yeah.
Martha said, "Oh no, you've been Joshified."
Yeah, I
Alexander's eyebrow twitches when he's lying, like especially if he's like giving a BS story. There's like full on the eyebrow starts twitching.
I told that little story because Josh, if you ever ask,
thanks, Novia.
If you ever ask Josh how we met, he's got, boy, that man can spin a yarn.
But he's good because he bases it on like real stories. Like him and Ashley actually went skydiving, so it's very easy just to have Alexander there. But in his story, he said that. He said that the guy that went out before him, I think, that his shoe fell off. But when he was saying it, it sounded like he said his shoe fell off, and everybody in the chat, including me, was like, "What?" And he said he looked panicked, and I thought, no kidding, he looked panicked.
Oh,
it was his shoe.
Somebody said I wouldn't put it past Josh to weld 2 cars together. Yeah, that's about the kind of impractical thing I could imagine him doing too. He has a Fox Body Mustang 5-liter that's just sitting rotting in his field right now, and I keep telling him he's got to drive that car because it was like his dream car. Like my dream car would be an E-Type Jag. His dream car, 5-liter Mustang. And he has his dream car, but last time I was out at his place was just sitting in a field. So a field of dreams, I guess. Maybe that's what it is.
Dude.
Dude.
I didn't see.
Oh, dude. Wait a minute. What was I saying? Okay, right. So this guy walks in and he's got like this skydiver pack. Oh no, wait, that wasn't then. Oh, where was I? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. This guy came in. Oh, dude, you should have been there. Anyway, Josh stories.
People think we met Hans at the Potter's house. Nope, Hans was my neighbor when I was growing up.
Yep, I met Hans during the Potter's House series, but Melissa had met him when he was when they were both much younger.
Kids.
Hans isn't that much older than me. He's
No.
like 8 years older than me. Hans
had a friend
and I
that-
are similar in age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jess Legacy says, I'm always on the lookout for 80s porcelain bumpkins. Fabrizio by George. I sent you an Instagram message. I'd love to have that on your radar. Boy, it's hard to keep track of everything, but I would say if you ever see one on a video, just drop me a line right away. Yep. So, I guess without further ado, we'll probably call it a night. Unless you guys have any more questions. Some folks don't like these really long live chats. So like, I can't watch the whole thing.
You guys, if you are feeling like you're overwhelmed and it's too long for you, it's just a video.
We can also fast forward.
You can just get up and go. And if this is after the fact, you can double click that side button. First, hit that thumbs up. We don't mind. It's okay. Because sometimes we have stories to tell.
Sometimes there are stories, yeah. But this story, the story from today was really an exceptional one. And again, I just want to reiterate how happy we are to have such good friends in our lives, how happy we are to have had that opportunity to buy the house. And for the record, that the contents of that house had actually been offered to another person, a friend of the homeowner, and he thought I was paying too much for it. You know, all those people that said you couldn't pay me money to haul that stuff out of there. Well, that's how he felt too, I guess. Probably it was a lot of work, and not a lot of people can take on that kind of work. But sometimes you take a risk, and I feel almost bad for that guy. I hope he doesn't watch my YouTube channel because he had first dibs. Somebody else had first dibs on that stuff.
Yeah.
Lucky for us, it worked out. It worked out just as we could have hoped. And so now dreams get to come true. And I'm just going to answer. Amanda Stevens says, well done. Hope the building of the cafe goes well this year. Thank you, Amanda. I have been working today preparing for the auction on February 13th, the third auction. And I also have been calling contractors, getting people lined up so that we can start getting the wheels in motion for this building. I've been acting as my own general contractor on this. So I've been basically getting permits and getting trades lined up and getting stuff done. We have a little bit of infrastructure left on the building site before we're ready to pour concrete, but you have to have everything done in the right order. Otherwise, you don't want to pour a concrete pad then find out you needed a sewer line or something, right? Like that's not good. So we're trying to get all that stuff done now before we're ready to pour. But after we pour, it's going to be bing, bang, boom. We're going to be right at it. So this is really very much a dream come true, guys. We're so much looking forward to what summer is going to bring, future adventures, and the ability now to have fun and follow our dreams and passions. So thank you so much, guys. It was a wonderful auction, a wonderful sale. That said, it was only one of three. This was number one of three. I don't know why I did that. For those of you at home that only know by fingers being held up, that's 2 fingers and 1 thumb. There's 2 more auctions to come. So there's still the sale on the 30th of this month, which is a lot of the household stuff. And there's another sale, which is going to be on the 13th, and that will have a bunch more jewelry. It'll have like the stamp collection, some other collectibles and stuff like that. So it is going to be another decent size auction on the 13th. But we got to get back to it. Got to get back to work. So you guys have a wonderful night. Silent Decay, thank you so much. We hope you can visit our cafe again soon. And stay tuned, because apparently insane, crazy, wonderful things have been happening on our channel, and we are grateful for it.
So where can everybody find you?
Well, they can find us on Facebook under Curiosity Inc. You can find us on Instagram, where we post pictures of recent finds, discoveries, and sometimes just weird stuff I think is funny, at Curiosity Inc. YEG. And for all those people who ask, what does YEG stand for? It's our airport code. It is a colloquial thing. People in the Edmonton area, just the YEG thing is something we use. And you can also follow us here on YouTube. and you can do you can subscribe, and you'll get notified when things like this live feed happen.
Well, if you push the little bell icon, then it notifies you. If you when we go for a live, whenever some crazy adventure comes up, it should let you know. It's supposed to. And if you did enjoy today's and every other adventure, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and comment, because we read the comments.
Yeah, I've got
We
more
try
adventures.
to.
More adventures planned for the future too. So we are planning on getting out there, finding some more stuff, getting some cool things in the store. My goal this year, okay, I guess before we sign off, I'm going to tell you guys this. My big goal this year is to get that building put up, yes, but also for our core business, for the antique shop, I want to find the coolest, most interesting artifacts, antiques, and collectibles I can possibly find and fill my store up with just amazing things. It's well on its way right now, but just wait and see. With that goal in mind, 2021 should be pretty interesting. And on that note, have a wonderful night. We'll see you all soon, and bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye,
And
guys.
thank you.
Yes, thank you all so much. Bye, guys.